When I started in the acting role at Youth Residential, we had a young boy who had he was diagnosed with Asperger's and chronic fatigue syndrome. So basically, he was bedridden. He wouldn't get out of bed. You know, we had medication that we had to administer in the mornings and in the evenings, and he'd crawl out of his room on his hands and legs and come down to the office, and it was a lot of work with getting him motivated and to believe that he could actually function, you know, as a normal young person. I think one of the challenges was he didn't have a lot of self-belief, and he thought, you know, I'm going to be sick, I'm going to be unwell for the rest of my life. So it was about setting him small targets. It was maybe walking to the door, and then walking down the corridor, and then walking down the stairs. And eventually, after about 9 months, we had him going out for activities, going to the library, you know, engaging with youth at the holiday programs that were run by the youth mobile team. And then sort of, I think it was late September of last year, he left the services and went back home. And I saw him about a month ago, and he was doing fine. He's back in school, and he's doing really well for himself. My name's Haresh. I'm the Service Delivery Manager for the Youth Residential Services Northern Division. I started my employment career with an internship through Child, Youth and Family. While I was working there, we did things like family assessments, basically analysing risk and seeing if placements were appropriate. I then was looking for another employment pathway and stumbled across Richmond, and I felt that going through the website I saw the values that Richmond has around, you know, integrity, collaboration, innovation, and felt that they sort of aligned with my own personal values. I've always had an interest with working with youth. When I was in high school, I used to, you know, coach junior cricket, so I always had an interest in working with young people. SIFS was probably the big stepping stone in terms of actually being employed and working with young people. So yeah, I mean, I worked in child protection, and then coming to Richmond and having an opportunity to work with young people was, you know, a whole different challenge. Young people with mental illness. So it's definitely something that I was interested in, but I also knew it was going to be a lot of work. So the Youth Residential Service is a mental health service, specifically for young people aged between 14 and 18. It is a challenge. I think it's in terms of the young people coming into the service, a lot of the time they like this situation initially because they think it's like a flatting situation, you know, no parents, we've just got a whole house to ourselves sort of thing. But it's what we're trying to do there is teach young people to live independently, give them the skills that they need to be able to live in the community, but also to still, you know, family is an important thing, so we do a lot of work with family and whānau. So we encourage families to come into the homes and see their kids, and, you know, spend time with them, take them out, you know, go home for weekends, that sort of thing. So for some referrals, it may be that there's been a breakdown at home, so it's about having a bit of separation and being able to, you know, for clinicians and to work with the family and the client on mending that relationship. So for us, it's more around giving them a safe environment. For others, it can be different. You know, it can be different needs. So some of them come quite unwell, and so again, it's about stabilising, getting them into programs, activities, normalising them back in school. You know, so school's a big thing for a lot of the young people that come in. So I think generally when I recruit people, I look for people that are generally outgoing, passionate about working with youth, people that can sort of think outside the box. Because I think with a lot of youth, it's not as easy as just setting up goals or following plans. I think sometimes there's ups and downs that you see a lot more in youth than you would in adult, and being able to sort of adapt and manage those situations. Youth can be a lot more emotional, so being able to be a bit more thick-skinned and being able to take things on the chin and not being fazed too much by it. So those are the sort of qualities I look for in staff that I'd want working at youth.